Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Dave's Faves. And today I want to talk about a recording which I mentioned way back at the dawn of time when I was doing these things. But, one of the things I've said many times, actually, is that the only way that we're going to get some unusual repertoire to get the attention it deserves is if we keep talking about it. We have to push it. We have to get behind it. It deserves attention. And this is a glorious disc. And I know since I made that original video, there have been, thousands and thousands of new subscribers. Welcome and thank you, all of you. I really appreciate it for subscribing to my channel. So I want to mention the thing again and really encourage you to stream it or listen to it or find a way. It's just amazing. It's this. It's Geirr Tveitt. Geirr Tveitt. You see him there? There you go. That allows you to see that a little better. It's a piece called Prillar. Now, Prillar is a very early work of his. It's from 1931. He lived from 1908 to 1981. His life was unspeakably tragic. He lived, in the countryside in Norway. He was Norwegian, and he wrote a ton of music. He was extremely prolific, and all of his manuscripts were stored in a lovely little wooden barn. And yes, the obvious happened. The wooden barn burned down, taking all of his music with it. And so the only stuff that has survived is music that was published or that was elsewhere, which is a tiny fraction of what he wrote, or music which, that he recorded was on, they have radio broadcast tapes of a lot of it, and that can be, reconstructed from those, although a lot of them, since they were recorded in the 40s and 50s or whatever, and they may not be in the best sound. Or alternately, some of the stuff, it was, they put out the fire, everything got water soaked, and they've got, apparently sitting somewhere in Norway, piles of singed manuscripts, which can only very laboriously be peeled apart and reconstructed. Some of them can, some of them can't. So it's a disaster. He was a very good composer. Had his oeuvre survived, he might be considered the greatest Norwegian 20th century composer. We don't know. But there's a lot of music still out there. There was still plenty of music and good music. And Prillar was one of these early pieces based on Norwegian folk music. It's for double string orchestra and full rest of the orchestra, brass and winds and percussion. And it's gloriously wonderful. It really is. I can't even begin to describe how original and enjoyable the music is. Essentially, it's based on very rich and busy string textures, which play these really sort of complex and fetching, I may say, it's very folksy, modal, tonal ostinatos over which these tunes come in. And they're beautiful. The very opening tune is, Prillar are these brass things that, ancient Norwegians used to do things with, apparently. But the tune is ya da da da, ya da 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 da, ba da bum. Yeah, well, that's sort of the opening theme. Look, listen, how many people do you know in your neighborhood, in your building, in your general region who go around humming Geirr Tveitt's Prillar? That's how catchy it is. You listen to it once, you're going to be a Prillarian. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And this performance is fabulous. It's with the Stavanger Symphony Orchestra under Kristian Ruud. And it's magnificently recorded by Biss. And you just have to own it. Now, this disc comes with something else. The Sun God Symphony. The Solgud Symphonian. Yes, the Sun God Symphony, which is 3 pieces from Baldur's Dream. Now, Baldur's Dream is one of the pieces that burned down, but it was reconstructed. It's a big sort of, it's ballet, basically, I think, sort of, kind of. It's a drama, dance. I don't know. Biss also recorded it, and I have that too. So this music's in there. But anyway, they extracted 3 movements from it, and it was able to be reconstructed from broadcasts and other sources, and the entire Baldur's Dream is around too. But it's 3 lovely movements. Just consider it a 3-movement suite. Really, really beautiful music. And so between Prillar and Balder's Dream, you've got just a fabulous selection of major 20th century Norwegian music. And I guarantee if you hear this, you are going to love Prillar particularly. You're going to really like this guy. I've done talks about his music before. He wrote, 100 folk tunes from Hardanger, of which not all of they don't all survive. He projected doing 100, but there are 4 or 5 suites, 4 suites I think survive now. There's a 5th somewhere of folk tunes that he orchestrated, which are really wonderful, wonderful pieces. And I've discussed those too. So yeah, I mean, there's more to discover if you like this, but this is where you start. And I this was one of those, when you're a collector, let's put it this way, I'm just babbling. When you're a collector, you look for interesting repertoire. You want to have a piece that says, that reaches out and grabs you immediately and says, oh, this is a really fresh, vital, new voice, like nothing I've heard before. This is that. This will do that for you. I guarantee it. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.